I'm trying to, with what I'm doing with school, I'm very open with talking about it with my superiors at work, and we're trying to find ways that I can get involved a little bit more in things that might be similar.
Have you been able to provide insight based on the knowledge you've gained from the evaluation program? Have you been able to provide ideas maybe?
I have, yes, a little bit. Specifically, they don't do a logic model, and I talked to them about that. That was in one of our courses. We were asked to find a logic model at our work and maybe bring it into class, and I asked around and people were giving me confused looks. They didn't really quite understand what a logic model was, and so I went through that with them, and they thought it was very similar to what they have is about a 10-page document for program startup, and it's the equivalent of the RMAP, really. It's just their own version of it at the National Capital Commission, and it goes through a lot of the same steps and lays out a lot of the same things that you need to be thinking about when you're starting a program or a project. And from there, I just said I think maybe it would be helpful so that they had this one-page visual and they could kind of really streamline it. So instead of having these long paragraphs, they really need to do like a few bullet points and think about what are the outcomes that they're looking for.
So have they started that process of actually doing the logic model?
Not really. I don't know, maybe. We've talked about it.
Okay.
So there's no projects on the go right now. It's just facilitating ones that have already been started.
Okay.
So maybe when the next one is started up.
And they're hoping to involve you in that project maybe?
Possibly.
Okay. Are you interested in being involved in that project?
Well, it depends. Right now what we do is a lot of the same projects over the year, so it's tough to say we would be starting a whole new initiative where I think this is something that might be an interesting activity to take on.
Okay.
I've also told them that it's something that you could also do that on a project that's already started or a program that's already started, just to help make sure everybody's on the same page, and that there's maybe people involved that think that they're doing one thing, whereas the program manager says, no, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So it's helpful for the ideas.
Excellent.
And
so you've been able to bring your knowledge then to your workplace.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that you've gained so far?
And I knew that I was going to require a lot of offloading of family duties to my husband, so he's really stepped into the breach there, because I'm not home 2 nights a week plus other nights like tonight where I'm agreeing to be interviewed by you guys, and also the group work on the weekends and stuff is really cut into family time, so he's really had to step in and do more than his fair share, I would say.
Okay, excellent. So we'd like to get at the definition so we know what we're talking about. I'd like to hear about what work life means to you and how you see the diploma fitting into your work life. You've talked a little bit about the 4 days as opposed to 5 days, but can you elaborate on anything further?
How it fits into it's actually tying in really nicely with part of my job, because I'm kind of a policy generalist, so I do like all kinds of different things, but one of my tasks is to work with a consultant to develop an evaluation strategy for our department. So it's the first time we've ever developed a logic model for the department, and the first time we've ever talked about what sorts of things we would like to evaluate. And so it's tying in really nicely because he's an academic, the consultant is also an academic. I think when I was completing my degree, I had the support was there. I found that I had support from the people that I needed to have support from, and it really helped me get through what can be quite a difficult task. Can we talk a little bit about your support network, and are your colleagues at work, are your bosses at work, are they supportive of you getting through this program?
I have different levels of support at work, and they've all been really great. So cut me off if I ramble, but I mean, I'm just so happy about the support system I have at work. I have 2 bosses that have approved this program, which has been phenomenal, and I've been able to seek the advice of one of those bosses in particular if I have a conflict with one of my classmates, or if I'm looking for a little bit of advice on a particular topic that we're looking at, because some of the topics in evaluation actually do go into auditing as well. So interviewing, as an example, case studies. So I've been able to ask his advice a lot. Now, I've also been able to ask advice from the directors, which is one below my supervisors. And I've been looking for more practical advice from them. So specifically talking about my interview guide, specifically asking, what is a case study? How does that work in our context? Which has been able to kind of, I feel, round out the knowledge that I'm gaining, because in the end I do want to be an auditor and not an evaluator. So it's been really great there.